Welcome to my channel, steveO the Window Cleaner. Today, we're gonna chat all about the easiest way to get more water flow to your water-fed brush, whether using a DI tank or using a multi-stage RO-DI system. Early this year, we came out with the Xero high flow hose. This has an outer diameter of 3/8 inch and an inner diameter of 1/4 inch. Very different than from the regular Xero hose. Got a little piece here that's 5/16 outer diameter, 3/16 inner diameter. So you can see there just the actual size difference between the two. Some of the major questions I get with high flow hose is it going to drastically decrease the PSI to my brush and therefore not give me the pressure out of the brush? To me, the amount of water volume is a lot more important out of a brush than the pressure. You don't want a lot of water ricocheting off the window and bouncing back and creating like too much of a mist. I personally do not like fan jets for that reason because I think they create a lot of unnecessary spotting when using water-fed pole. So all you want is a good volume of water coming out of the brush. It's very possible when using this, as far as the high flow hose in my experience, and I've used this for over now almost a year and a half as far as being able to test it. Sometimes I actually had to turn down the water from the spigot just so that it wasn't ricocheting off. Now, the reason why I say this is one of the easiest ways to produce more water volume to your brush is that some people do not like to have a lot of volume. To me, I like to have a lot of volume of water, but it's a lot personal preference. So not everyone is going to want to have the high flow hose. So that's why it's an extra accessory that you can modify your pole with. Now, how's it all gonna work as far as the accessories that connect it from your water-fed pole system all the way to your brush? First thing is that when this first came out, we have the standard premium quick connect set, which looks like this. It has the black valve part, and then it has the piece that comes out like this, that is basically the male quick connect, and then it goes to a 5/16 hose. So that's what it is just to use the normal hose. Now, what we did for a while was that we just did a 5/16 to 3/8 adapter so that you would just be able to use the same exact cone on there. Now, what a lot of people were commenting on is that they thought that this smaller output here would restrict the flow to the high flow hose. So very quickly, Xero created a high flow hose one that looks like this. So when you look at the two together, obviously the black one has a lot larger inner diameter than the silver one. So now we have this piece. This is the newest piece that really made me want to make this video again, because I made this video at the late point of last year. It's on WCR's YouTube channel, just about the overall flow rate. So that's the newest piece. Then what's nice about that is you just have a 3/8 inch push to fit that you put right on there, and the hose connects directly into there, just like so. So now you don't have to have the actual reducer there. So after that's connected to your outlet of your system going to the high flow hose, then it's gonna go up your pole. These high flow hoses are gonna fit perfectly up your Xero water fed pole, or really any standard water fed pole. You could also run them externally. That's just more personal preference. But it's gonna go through the fast lock angle adapter that comes standard with all Xero water fed poles. It's gonna be a lot more snug going through there as well. Now, how do you connect it to your brush? For an example, I'm going to use a Xero hybrid brush. So on here, we have 5/16 inch T push to fit, and we have a 5/16 inch barb for the rinse bar. So for the rinse bar, typically, you're going to be using a 5/16 to 3/8 inch push to fit. So you put that right under there, you can plug your high flow hose right into there. Boom, that's it. Now, to go to your actual 5/16 push to fit, you're going to have a 3/8 to 5/16 push to fit, again, a reducer. You're gonna put that onto your high flow hose, and then that is going to hook right into your 5/16 T adapter with just a little section of 5/16 hose. We sell all these different connections as far as this piece with the little section of hose, and then also just the quick connect that we just went over to go from the system to the pole hose. So to give you a little bit of rundown as far as the visual, let's go over that. So let's do a little rundown as far as putting it all together with the pole and connecting it to a DI tank. I keep the 100 feet of hose all together. I would honestly suggest whatever size pole you use, let's say a 30-foot pole, I would do a 40-foot section, cut it there, and then have your extra hose in case you want it. Then you can connect them with a little 3/8 to 3/8 push to fit. A little bit easier, less cumbersome than having the whole 100-foot section of hose like you're gonna see here to route through your pole. Or if you have the storage space, you can always keep it and use a little wrap-it strap to basically keep it organized. It just goes through your pole like so. This is gonna take a bit, so I'm gonna fast forward this part. So once we've routed it through, like I mentioned, it goes to the fast lock fine. Lock our clamp down, and boom. That's how it's gonna look through the brush. I personally never use pencil jets, so I always have it. If you ever see in my videos, I always have it connected to the rinse bar. So I typically, honestly, cut the pencil jets away. It's all personal preference though. But I would say that if you're using the rinse bar, take this off. It's gonna limit the rotation of the swivel if you use a swivel. So how would this look if we're connecting it to an actual pure water system? Gonna use a DI tank for the example. This is the inlet, so this is where your normal garden hose will go. This is your outlet. So we have the premium quick connect set here with the high flow male quick connect with that 3/8 inch push to fit. And that's gonna go on the outlet. And then your high flow hose is just gonna go onto the outlet. And that is it. Therefore, with this setup, you have 100 feet of hose going from your system to your pole. You could connect an extra 200 feet if you want to. Now, the other way that I typically would run this is like this. So if I'm using a multi-stage system, so envision this as like a Xero Pure or Xero Pure Max Plus. What I do for best flow, I'll take a hose reel with 150 feet of 3/8 hose on it. So we have the Xero HD reel, we have the Xero portable hose reel, we have a Pure Water Power portable hose reel, all really, really nice. Kind of a little space to be able to show you everything. So coiled on here, got 150 feet of blue 3/8 rubber hose. The biggest mistake that's always made with this is that a lot of people who are new to water fed pole will use this from their water source to the system. Now, crazy thing about it is what this really will do is reduce the PSI to the system as far as that goes. So then, after I've uncoiled this 150 feet, giving me all this distance from my tank, then I hook up the premium quick connect set here and have the high flow hose there. This is typically how I'm always running it, and you get such good flow. If you're using a DI tank, if you're using a multi-stage system, it's going to increase the water volume by double. And so I'm not in this video going to do all the water testing because I've done that in a previous video that I'm gonna link below. So if you want to see the GPM test as far as what would come out at the end of this hose with a 150-foot reel, I do that in that video. And so that's a really good video to look at if you want to see that. But that's simply high flow hose. If you're looking to increase the amount of volume coming out of your brush, there's nothing else I would suggest more than doing this. Of course, a pump is always going to help. And you know, if you have low pressure from the water source, 20, 30 PSI, it's not going to produce much. With the DI tank, you're going to do okay. You're going to get a dribble out of an RO DI system. It's important to note when you're in an area that you have extremely hard water, you have to use an RO DI system. So when you have to use an RO DI system, you're going to have less flow because of the way that an RO purifies through restrictness. When you have restrictness, we have less water flow at the end. So it's all to do with the pressure going in. If we have 55 to 45 PSI going in on a double RO unit, you're gonna get 1 gallon per minute. If you have 100 PSI, you'll get about 2.5 gallons per minute. So if you're in an area where you have to do that, you have to deal with what the system gives you, and then you have to make your modifications from there. But if you have any questions about high flow hose, please comment below, or you can contact me at 970-214-9522, or you can email me at steveO@windowcleanresource.com. I am a sales rep with WCR. We are only paid by the orders that we enter, so I greatly appreciate it when you contact me for that or with any questions regarding products. Once again, this is the Xero High Flow Hose. If you're really looking to produce more volume out of your water-fed pole brush, I would strongly suggest making this modification to your water-fed pole setup. This not only just works with Xero water fed poles, this is gonna work with a lot of different brands. It's not like this is brand new to the market as far as this hose goes, but Xero listened to its customers, got this going and got this produced and got this out there for you. And with this new piece, I was really waiting on making this video. But if you go look at the old video, as far as looking at the GPM flow rates, you can see all that there. Once again, if you got any questions, comment below and I'll talk to you soon.